What is up, everybody? Today we are going to be looking at a song that I have in my playlist for a long time, and I finally thought to myself, why did I not look at this video before? And that is going to be EXO with Call Me Baby, where I always thought like, hey man, call me maybe, call me baby. Awesome song. But I thought, how awesome is the video that is going to complement this video? And that is what we're going to be checking out today. Like always, make sure to find this frame in the video today, and if you do, you will win a discount code as well for Fuku. Put the timestamp down below, and good luck, guys. Let's see if you can find it. Every time I'm going to make it a little bit harder. And of course, if you do enjoy the video that you see right now, make sure you hit the like button and make sure you subscribe. And I would say, let's go to the video. So let's start with the video and see what it's about. I can already say that I love what they did here with the cinema bars. The cinema bars are normally at the top here. And what you can see here is that they actually made them white. I still think this is so much better than certain colors. Of course, if it fits to the color scheme, if it fits to the color palette. But here it just complements each other because the video itself has this very nice white color to it. It's a little bit bright and it fits to the white. It's nice. It's a little bit different, you know, from what we're used to, and it's really nice to look at. Nice car, by the way. Also, if you look at the color palettes of the cars, again, you know, they selected these cars for a reason. You have the blue, you have the red, and you have the yellow here in the background. It just looks very nice, looks very clean, and they have these very nice pastel colors. Again, it adds a little bit to the white cinema bars. It's nice. That's Sky, no? A little bit of a fun fact that when you own cars like this in Korea or Japan or Hong Kong, it's really expensive. It really just shows that not only can you afford the cars, but it also actually shows that you can afford the garage. And that is the expensive part. It's not the car, it's actually where you store the car. So it's a big luxury item here. Nice headphones. It fits to the car. Again, it's important that when you start filming that you have colors that make sense to the video and make sense to the aesthetics around it. I'm actually curious though if those were headphones where there's a touch button there, but then again, if it's a prop, I understand it, but I'm curious if this is actually a touch sensitive headphone. Nice. Good start. What I like so far is that everything is a continuous shot. Everything is one take, and I think this is one of the hardest shots. And it's not just what I think, it's what I know, that these shots are just very hard to pull off. It's very hard to make a continuous shot and make sure that everything runs smoothly. And it looks really good. Very nice transition there. I always like these pan transitions. They're very simple, but they look really good. Is there actually a cut here? Where's the cut? So this is where it cuts basically, but it looks very smooth because everything has more or less like a dash effect through it, which is very nice. Very nice. So far, you really get this effect as if everything is just nicely continuing. Everything wants to go to the next part. And I like that. It just makes the story so much more continuous than what it could be. Also, when we talk about the surroundings, it's also very nice that they're actually in a real location, how they're interacting with the garage and where they repair the cars, most likely that they rented for the time being. But it looks aesthetically very pleasing to everything. You know, it has this very nice vibrant to it, you know, this roughness to it, while also keeping it very clean and keeping it minimalistic. Adds a lot of value to the video and also keeps it focused for the video. In other words, you can see where the members are and they stand out, especially with them wearing black, while everything in the background is a light gray or white. I mean, for 2015, this really just stands up still. So we're actually introduced here to a new location. Let's just look at the transition here because it looked very clean again, you know? Again, we had that swipe effect, that swipe transition, very nice. But what I like about this location generally is, because we're introduced to it, again, it's important that when you have a big group that you actually give it enough space for all the group members to move, because if it's too tight, it just feels claustrophobic, and this is good. This is how you're supposed to have bigger groups in a video. Very nice. See, it just gives enough room for the choreography. It gives enough space for them all to move without feeling as if, oh man, I'm going to bump into a wall. And that's the one thing I just don't like about studios too much. While here, they made sure that the space is big enough. And also, if you look at the colors, this reminds me a lot of like a place or location where maybe cars would stand. So most likely they're still in the same building, and it's nice. Location-wise, it's already a 10 out of 10. Very clean, aesthetically looking as well. It's just impressive how everything so far is most or less, it's all just one long big take. And what I like this is because if you do long takes, it just shows that you cannot make any mistakes during the choreography or during the acting or whatever they have to do. This is impressive, you know, for EXO, and it's really nice to see this because it shows skill over someone just filming it. This just seems as if they were doing the thing and someone was accidentally filming it, and this is very nice. It's very choreography driven, which is also nice, so it understands, or it is understandable to why it actually has to be like this. Again, another swipe transition. They really, really like it, and I can't blame them. It's just a very nice transition to use because it just allows elements to click to each other much easier. So now we're in a studio. Do you guys already feel what I'm trying to say here? With it feels a little bit more claustrophobic because it feels as if you don't know where the walls are, you don't know how much space they have. It just feels a little bit tighter to each other. Here it still seems as if they have enough space because more or less you can see some of the shadows from the floor to the wall, which is nice. But it's just important as well to note that if you like this aesthetic, then go with a studio. But if you like it a little bit more open, if you have a bigger group, I would always say go to a location that is a little bit more open, that has windows to just show that there is place for them to breathe while doing all of the choreography, everything that you have to film. All just continuous shots, which is really nice. And of course you see some cuts in there, so maybe something happened, or I don't know. I can never explain it because I wasn't there, but most likely something small happened, so they had to redo it over and over again. And of course they didn't do this all in one take, they did 2, 3, 4, 5 takes even. And I can imagine how exhausting that is actually for the EXO members. So, you know, it's tough for them, but they also have to think about all the people that have to do the filming. It's also tough for them to hold the cameras longer, to redo everything, to make sure that it looks very similar to the first shot, because it has to interlink with each other. It has to look seamless, and that is something hard to pull off, especially if you're, for example, the cameraman. Every step you take has to be more or less similar to the steps that you took before. Nice. What I like about this shot generally is that you have, I don't know what car it is, I think it's a Ferrari, but it doesn't matter what car it is, it's just that it's like lurking in the background. It's there, but you don't really see it. And it just adds a bit of an aesthetic touch to the entire scene. We're not just focused on EXO, we actually have a chance to look a little bit in the background. We also have a blue light here, again, to extend the background a little bit, to show how much depth there is to the entire scene. And I like these kind of videos. It's very nice to look at them, and it just gives a little bit more of a dimension to where we're looking at that you don't really see in studios that often. But in these type of locations, it looks really good. The one thing that I like about Kai all the time is that he's always smiling. I don't know if this is just his thing or that he has a problem with his, with his smiling, but I like that. I like when characters smile in videos, and it just makes it look as if they're actually enjoying being on the video, which is very nice actually. Always fun to actually work with people that are enjoying the shoot rather than just being there because they're getting paid. There's a big difference between it, and I've noticed both in the past, but it's more fun when they smile and they genuinely enjoy being there. Nice, nice, nice. Again, playing with the camera angles, top notch. Do you see how the camera is slowly zooming in and making these, I don't know what kind of effect of it. It's like a pop effect basically, that on beat it just goes bloop and it zooms in a little bit or zooms out a little bit. And look, there's Kai again. Kai, are you gonna smile? And he smiles. Okay, every time he smiles, I deserve €5, guys. Make sure to check out my Patreon. If he smiles again, make sure to go check out the Patreon. No, I'm just joking. But Kai, why do you always smile? Maybe he really just enjoys it, and there are people like that. They work really hard and they just enjoy being where they are. Really nice. Look at him just continuing to smile. And now that everyone else is smiling. It's weird though. I think Kai is really just my bias purely because he seems like someone who you can enjoy filming with, and it seems like you're not filming him because he's good at what he's doing. It's because he genuinely tries to just impress the camera with his smile. And we're just got to the next scene, and you can see that he's smiling again. It's nice, you know. Genuine smiles are top notch to film with. So head off, Kai. I think more people should smile in videos. This white background itself in a studio again, it seems a bit more seamless compared to the other one we saw, because back there we saw actually some shadow lines. It actually shows the depth to the background. Here this is a little bit better because again it gives it the illusion as if there is space, and it's very nice. And on top of that, it's nice that they're all wearing black. They just pop much better with the background. It's just nicer to look at them doing the choreography, and we can actually see where the members are and how they look like. In some MVs we still see that some people for some reason like to wear or like to make sure that the people in the videos wear white clothes. I don't see why that is important or why that should be the case, but they do it good here, and this is for 2015. It's nice that they picked this up actually. Look how seamless this actually is. This is really good, man. Like, especially for the camera people, this is 100% correct. Let me actually look at this transition. It looks really good as well. Okay, it has a bit of a... Okay, it's a nice transition, you know. It's a little bit off, you know, if I can say so, because if you look at it, you know, we have Kai standing here. It's a bit more zoomed in. Again, it's really hard to make sure that this is popped off, and maybe it would be nice to have this a little bit more centralized so that in the next scene it adds a little bit more here as well, because this is also centralized. But look, it's actually totally fine. It's still very seamless, and I just love the backgrounds. I love the locations where they're filming. It's also very interesting that, okay, first of all, before I go to the interesting part, here we have again a Dutch angle. It seems to be like the thing in K-pop. They love that the videos are always a bit slanted, which is actually okay. It just adds a bit of more dimension to the video. But what is also very nice that they have these background lights. They're very small, but just add a little bit more to the video. It adds a little bit more of a sparkle, let's say, you know, to the background. And again, it just extends it a little bit, because with the eyes, you're not just focusing on them, you're also focusing, okay, what else is popping out a little bit? And those are the lights. It all has a reason for it, and it makes sense. So it's good what they did here. They made the background a little bit more interesting by just putting two little lights there. That's thinking smart. Beautiful location though. You can also see, okay, let's go back. It's just interesting to look at that. Let's go back a little bit more. We can see some of the background. You can also see that the place itself is more or less quite dusty, but you can also see where they're more or less dancing. So this is where they're dancing, and because of the location itself, they didn't really touch this location here. It's just a bit more dusty, but I like that, you know. I like what they're doing here. It's always nice to pick up these details, you know. Maybe they should have cleaned everything though. Like, maybe there's a reason to it. Like, it adds a bit of a depth to the ground as well. But I like it. I like what's happening here, you know. And I can only imagine as well that they actually added this at the end. Like, this cannot be, because everything else is clean except for here. So there must be a reason for it. And like I said, I think it's just to add a bit of depth to the video. Nice. Very simple effect, black and white, but it just spices it up a little bit again. You know, it's all just about adding a little bit of a change to the video and keeping the viewer interested. It's small things like that can make it really, really important for the viewer, and it just keeps it a little bit more interesting. And it's a very simple effect. This is nothing more than clicking two buttons on Adobe Premiere, so it works. Man, that was smooth, no, that choreography. Like, literally, guys, let's say like this. Every time I look at EXO or Kai, and every time he smiles, I think you guys owe me money. I don't know why, but he always smiles. Like, look at this little smile at the end. I don't know if you guys picked it up. I bet a lot of you people actually looked at it, but look at him smiling again. It's like, yeah, you know what? I'm cool. I did my part, I'm happy. There's something about his smile that is just really, really interesting and intriguing to film with, and maybe it's just because he's very photogenic. I can understand why he's the ambassador of Gucci. So yeah guys, that is EXO with Call Me Baby, and I'll be honest, I really enjoyed this MV. I love when MVs are very focused on the choreography, because I know that a lot of these videos have a choreography to it, but sadly they don't get filmed all the time because some of the people in the background, you know, who are designing all of these videos, they just want to have a better story. But I still think, why not just show a lot of the choreography, because it's more of a performance. They are anyway practicing the choreography, so why not let them show it in an MV? I always enjoy it more like this, and they did a really good job here. Camera angles are great, I love the color grade to it, and on top of that I really love the cinema bars on top of it as well that are actually in white. It really complements the video and it just makes it a little bit more brighter. It makes it a little bit more uplifting. I would always say that when I use black cinema bars, it has to be something that's a little bit more serious orientated, while if I try to go with a white cinema bars, it's a little bit more uplifting. For example, a wedding, for example, a video like this where everyone is maybe smiling. It just gives a bit of a different effect, and it just adds a little bit of a different temperature to the video, where you might think, is this going to be an uplifting video or is it going to be a serious video? And it can play a little bit with the effects, so it really is a good choice here, and I like that. I mean, it's so much better than Cherry Bomb with the purple. The purple was just disgusting. They should have just done white as well if they wanted to go for a little bit of a different effect. The purple was terrible. Like literally, it haunts me till today. But yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed this review and analysis, of course, and I hope you found the screenshot of EXO. If you did find it, make sure to put the timestamp down below in the comments, and of course if you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Like always, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you then.